So good morning, my loves. And just beginning on your mat wherever you're most comfortable. Lying down, seated, using meditation cushion if that helps to sit more upright. And just take a few deep breaths. Nice deep inhale. And a nice slow exhale as well. Maybe a sigh as well. Just let the shoulders relax. Release through the chin and jaw. And just checking in with how you're feeling. Scan through physically. If you're aware of anything that's a little bit twingy, if it's back or joints, just being very gentle with your practice today. And just honouring your satya and ahimsa. So taking a moment to root down through your tailbone, through the feet, however you like to visualise this. And then just starting at the crown, we'll start to just tune into Sahasrara, that area above the top of the head, energy centre connected with our source, our universe, whatever spirituality we choose to follow. And then third eye, Ajna, this area between your eyebrows. It's connected to sleep and the pineal gland. The crown is connected more so to the pituitary. And the pineal is very linked with your sleep-wake regulation. So if we can balance here, then sometimes this can improve our sleep. Wearing an amethyst, tuning into anything sort of indigo or purple, eating blueberries, all these little things, very subtle but can enhance the energy to balance. And then throat, Vishuddhi, a lovely pale blue or turquoise area here, your communication. And then checking in with your heart centre, so how it feels in the front of your chest, shoulders, all the arms all the way down to your fingers are connected with heart and your upper back area. So those shoulder blades, that area we can get tension. And next coming to solar plexus, above your navel, this upper digestive area of your body of motivation and activity. And then noticing sacral. How does it feel, this lower part of digestive system? And it's all connected with our lower back and hips as well. And this is often an area I find people can be quite out of balance. Very emotional centre, connected with our relationships and passions in life, what creativity you want to put out into the world. And then finally coming to your root, base of your spine, and this all connects down your legs to each one of your toes, in how rooted and safe and secure you feel. So sometimes it's just nice to glance through these energy centres because something you'll notice may be out of balance. So if you're lying down, if you're seated, just join me lying down and we'll come to our stretches. So when you're ready, taking the right arm over on the next inhale, letting the hand fall to the floor behind you or wherever you find it most comfortable to rest. Bringing your foot into a flexed position, so toes up, lovely push into the heel, and then we'll enjoy a nice stretch here. Just opening up this side, just making this side feel longer than the other side. How does it feel through your back, your hip, your leg? Stretch into the fingers, pointing the toes now on the right side. And then when you're ready, exhale, arm down. Palms up, just for one breath. And notice. And then so left side, inhale, arm over. Just as you move, how does it feel in the shoulder joint as you do this side? And then again, foot flexed. Lovely push into the heel, lowering the hip, reaching up with the arm, and again making this side just slightly longer than the right. Pointing toes. Enjoying that stretch over the foot, the shin, your stomach channel. And exhale, arm down. Just nice and gently, and again, just take a breath, palms up into Shavasana. And then when you're ready, both arms over. Let the chin sink down a little, lengthen through the neck, and just Really enjoy this full body stretch. Flex your feet, point your toes, flex again. Don't stretch too much that you kind of cramp or it feels uncomfortable, but as much as you can that feels good. And then when you're ready, exhale, arms down, and just palms upwards in Shavasana for a moment. And perhaps now you feel slightly longer than you started. We'll draw the right knee in, hands around the shin, and a deep, deep breath from belly up to chest. And then exhaling as we come up. And really following all that breath leave the body, being conscious. Breathe in when you're ready to come down. Other side. Deep belly, chest breath. Exhale up. Imagining all the air leaving the body. And then inhale down. And then both knees. Lovely stretch for the back this is. So again, belly up to chest. Exhale up. Squeeze all the air out, all that stale air that always gets stuck there. And then a nice fresh breath in down. Holding onto the knees and just a gentle rock side to side. Making a few small circles. How does your back feel today as you rotate? Where does it feel perhaps a bit tight or tender? And then we'll take hands and feet up into the air. Stretching fingers, stretching toes, and then curling them and making fists with the thumbs in and thumbs out. Like you're flicking water off the fingers. And then flexing now at wrists and ankles backwards and forwards. Sometimes it's nice just to pause with the hands for a moment. Just take a moment to feel that stretch over and under the wrist. Lovely for activating your meridians in the arms, heart, lung, large and small intestine. And then we'll start to just rotate ankles and wrists. This is where we get a few clicks, releasing the air in the joints. Okay, lowering the arms, legs raised, and we'll cycle to warm up knees. Noticing if there's any crunchy noises going on here, whether it feels quite healthy. Reversing. Just engaging your brain in something that doesn't feel as normal and natural. And then coming to a stillness. Just drop the feet down for a moment. Release into the core where we were engaged a little there. So left foot down, right leg raised, big circles. We're warming up the hip, but you could also notice if you're tight in your hamstrings, back of the thigh, anything else that feels different today, and just reverse into the other direction a few times. How big are your circles? Do you like to swing them out wide, or are they quite little? So let's swap sides, left side now. And again, noticing if you have the same range of motion in this side of your body, or if it's a bit limited. And then just reverse the other way a few times. Just thinking about sort of warming up that ball and socket joint of the hip. Keeping it all nice and healthy, the cartilage, the synovial fluid around the joint. And then coming back into just dropping the knees down. If you bring your toes together, hands on the knees, and we'll just do some hip circles here. So where we take the knees away, out wide and round and back again. This is another nice way of just warming up the hips, and you get a little rock into your lower body and then just circling back in the other direction. Bring your feet to the mat. We'll come into a thread the needle stretch or reverse pigeon. So bring the right foot onto the left knee area, hugging around that left thigh. We'll just come into a glute stretch here. Trying to relax the muscles in your right thigh. Perhaps your right calf is a little bit tense. Just see if you can soften. Deep stretch. And we'll come into the other side. So pop in the left foot onto the right side now. And just swapping over. Sometimes you'll come into this pose and there'll be a real deep stretch sensation in the buttock, and other times it's just quite nice and refreshing. You can rock a little if that feels nice. And then releasing, just bring the knees in for a moment, rock if that feels good. We'll come up to seated and just move the upper body, neck and shoulders. Coming onto cushions. Sometimes you see people start their yoga practice without a warm-up, and it always feels very strange to me to do that, to at least have moved just a few of your joints, to feel into your body first. So just join me with Chin Mudra. Have a moment with the eyes closed, coming into this seated and rooted position. Again, just imagine the roots from your tailbone. And then when you're ready, just take the chin down to the chest, pausing for a moment. Exploring how we feel in the neck, the upper back, across the shoulders. Noticing any sensation that spreads down through the back. Taking the chin up to the ceiling. And even in this position, what you feel through the back of the body too, even with the open throat. Just once more down. And then once more up. Coming back to centre. We'll just tilt the head to the right. Just pause for a moment and left. Coming back to centre, and then we'll just turn and twist the head to the right. And over to the left, just the once. Returning back to centre and lowering the chin down for a full rotation of the head each way. And then the other way. Just listening to all the noise in that quiet moment there. And coming back. Opening your eyes if you've had them closed, and then just hands on the shoulders, loosening up. Whatever we're holding here, this is hips hold energy, get stuck, shoulders do, knees often, and other way a few times. Lovely, and release. Okay. Coming into butterfly for a moment. Just release through those hips. Now gently tilting and exploring how it feels in the lower back here. And just taking a moment to breathe to the belly. Okay, and just lifting up. So from here we'll come into a flowering lotus, which is a nice alternative to a standing balance. So just grab onto your toes, and we're going to tilt back, come into, actually it's perhaps nicer to hold around the backs of your feet. So just come into a balance here, trying to keep a nice sort of straight back rather than sort of slumping into this posture. Nice straight back here. Okay, and then taking the hands under the lower legs, and then you can bring hands to Chin Mudra into this love, they call it flowering lotus balance. Take your time to get into it. If you do have a little bit of a wobble, that's fine. Come into a stillness. See if you can close your eyes just momentarily. Breathe to your belly. And then we can open our eyes. Did that feel safe? Did that feel nice? So from here, still in this balance, holding on to your right toe and just seeing if you can extend the right leg out. And then maybe the left leg as well. And seeing if you can still remain fairly still in this balance. You don't have to have the legs straight, that's fine. Let's bring them back together and we can come down. So a lovely way to come into some stillness and a lovely rooting pose as well. Come onto hands and knees. We'll flex into the spine with cat-cow. So starting in your tabletop, neutral spine, following your breath, making sure that you feel the grip of your hands and the tops of your feet into the mat, that connection to the earth. And then exhaling into cat. And then inhaling into cow. If you often have a little bit of a twingy lower spine, then just being careful as you come into cow. Taking your time just to feel into the way those lumbar vertebrae flex. I like to do this particular pose quite early on into a practice, just so you're very aware of your spine. We go about our day upright, sometimes bending and folding, and it can be the simplest movement that can put the back out. So just being very aware of what we're working with in our practice today is nice to find out through cat-cow. Okay, coming to a stillness, just fold back briefly into Hatha. There is a lot of people that think that yoga is just the moves we make on the mat. But it is about becoming very aware and conscious of ourselves, our breath, of everything that we do in the day. So starting with these practices can help. Okay, lifting the head, just coming back. We'll turn the toes under for a little stretch here on the way up to standing. It always feels quite refreshing through the soles of your feet to do this, just for a breath or two, and then join me standing. Okay, we'll start with a sun salutation and a moon salutation. So join me at the top of your mat. We'll do the traditional Satyananda sun salutation and perhaps the more modern moon salutation today. So bringing hands to your heart center, have an awareness of how your feet feel on the mat, lifting the arches, planting down the toes, and just having that mental connection to your root. When you're ready, taking a deep breath in. And exhale, releasing arms down. Inhale, saluting our beautiful sun. And we can be grateful for the sun today. Folding forwards. And just take a moment here. This is our first fold of the day. Maybe just let yourself hang in a little bit of a ragdoll fashion first. And if you want to just sort of wiggle the hips for a moment, you can just get used to this feeling in the lower back. And then when you're ready, we'll lift the back, looking ahead of ourselves. Hands down, right leg back. Into low lunge or equestrian pose. Gazing up. Take a moment. Let's really stretch through the legs here. Feel it in the top of the hip flexors. And then turning the toes under for down dog. Again here, grounding all of both of the hands, the base of each finger into the mat. Lifting that tailbone, straightening the back, coming strong into the arms. And a deep breath in. Exhaling, coming down. Folding back, buttocks to heels. And then flowing into, let's take Sphinx to start with again. Just kind of being very gentle as we move through the lower back. Have a moment to soften here. Notice if the shoulders and the ears are coming together. Just pulling them apart. Hands under the shoulders, down dog. And then left foot forwards. Gazing up. Feet together. And then sweeping up. Okay. So other side. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Nice little back bend, forward fold. Flattening the back, looking ahead. Left leg back. Again, just a quick moment to notice this side as well. Really stretch through the legs. Down dog. Coming into your pose, moving your feet if you need to, strengthening through your arms, locking the elbows. Deep breath in. Exhaling down. Coming back. Flow through the pose of 8 curves into Cobra or Sphinx if that is better for you. And then down dog. Right foot forwards. Gazing up. Feet together as we sweep up. Feeling energized, like we've just boosted our solar plexus a little bit here, pumping a little bit more energy into it. We've been plugged in and put on charge. So we're going to go straight into the moon salutation and we'll take a moment to lie down. Excuse me. So come just slightly off center to the right side of your mat. And we'll just flow through one side of this lovely moon salutation. I think we had either a full moon or a new moon recently. So deep breath in. Inhale, arms up. Exhale as you just lean over into this crescent to the side. Inhale through to center. Exhale to the other side. You're stretching the sides of your body is lovely for your gallbladder. Coming back. And then left foot comes apart down into goddess squat. Sinking here, feeling that in your thighs. Lifting up, turning into Trikonasana on your left. Slowly coming down, take your time, opening up that right shoulder if it tends to fold forward. Take a breath. And then we're going to bring that right hip forward, the right shoulder forward, turning into pyramid pose. Adjusting your feet slightly if you need to for balance. Lowering down into this low lunge crescent. Again, another opportunity to really enjoy stretching through here. This works all of the meridians through our legs. Hands down to the inside of the left foot. We're going to rotate the whole right leg all the way over. So the toes point up and the knee points upwards. You can pause with the hands on the ground or come into prayer if you feel you're balanced. Just pause here for a moment. That lovely, delicious stretch on the inside of the leg is too good to move through too quickly. Let's come over to the other side and just again, feeling that inner leg is liver, kidney and spleen. Rotating round into low lunge. Raising the arms, sinking down even more, feeling that nice curve into your lower back, perhaps becoming more comfortable. Hands down, we'll push up into pyramid. And taking a pause here, feeling that stretch through your right calf muscle, right hamstring. Open up to triangle, left arm up into the air. Nice stretch into the side of your waist. Goddess squat. We are all goddesses. And then right foot to left. Inhale, taking your arms up. Exhale outwards. Inhale into center. And then the other side. Take a moment here to pause. It feels lovely. And then bring in hands to heart. Perhaps your heartbeat is going now. You can really feel that. Take a moment on the mat. Let's come into Shavasana. Lie down. Nice long sigh, relax and just absorb all the multitude of feelings you can feel through your body. Perhaps there's tingling going on through the palms, the inner part of the arms. There's a sensation that you've been moving into the spine and lower back. Nice buzzing in the backs of the legs. Start to relax. Relax the buttocks. Let the legs rotate outwards if they need to. Softening through the muscles of the back. And just allowing the breath to restore. Okay, bringing knees into chest. Have a gentle rock. Coming up. So as we're seated, again, I'd like to come into another balance. Boat pose. So this can sometimes be quite a strong pose on people's backs if their lower back is a problem, but we've moved into the back already this morning, so we're going to come into a nice seated balance here. Good also for being very, very aware and engaging into our core. Have the hands on the backs of the thighs to start with, lovely tall back, and then we'll just lift back, coming into a gentle balance. Lift the legs to half boat, pausing here if this is comfortable. Don't forget to breathe. I see people in this pose and they hold their breath. So just gently breathing, engaging that pelvic diaphragm and lower abdomen. Just lower down for a moment. Release the legs if you need to. Give them a little bit of movement. And then coming back into boat. Again, starting with that lovely tall spine, engaging into our core. And coming up again. Maybe you can lift the legs a little higher. They may start to wobble, and then you'll notice where perhaps you're most comfortable. Lovely tall back still. Breathing. And then gently lower. Again, just release. Release. If you need to wiggle into the lower back, rotate the belly a little, that's fine. It's all about exploring how it feels with each posture. And then the third time I like to come up, we'll release the hands. So really engaging into that core, pulling in on the pelvic diaphragm and the lower abdominal. So coming up, releasing arms. Don't forget to breathe. Feeling strong. Lovely. And lower. Okay. Lie down if you need to, just for a breath. If you need to wag your tail, rock the pelvis a little just to ease what we felt in boat. Taking a nice breath here. And then bringing these in. I'd like to come up to standing and do earth sequence. Earth is one I often start with, but it's also nice to kind of bring it in midway or towards the end of a practice. It feels different when your energy is already going. So joining me slightly to the left side of your mat now. And we'll use this practice as more of a meditative movement. So when you're ready, breathing in, gazing through that diamond. And then when you're ready to exhale, arms nice and slowly round and down. At the end of that breath, the fingers touch. Breathing in, exhaling. Really try to follow your breath. We'll all be at different stages because of the length of our breath. That's fine. And see if you can be totally present throughout this whole practice without the mind wandering too much. Follow the movement of the bend in the elbow and then the bend in your knee as you squat. How it feels to lengthen through the legs and stretch out through the arms as you take them wide. The gentle touch of your fingers as they interlink each time. The push through your heels as you lift up. Maybe the length through your neck and the heaviness of your head as you move. Turning to your right when you're ready. Leaning back, feeling that weight into that back leg. And then the exchange of weight into that front leg. Noticing if the breath is full or half breaths. Other side when you're ready. Connect back with the breath, whether it's chest breathing, belly breath. The stretch in the palms. And how you feel inside as you move with this beautiful sequence. In your own time, returning to the front, breathing in. And a lovely stretch and fold forward. Pausing for a moment in this forward fold if that feels good. Stretching the back. Inhale when you're ready to come up, engaging the core. Still aware of the gentle touch of the fingers as you interlink them each time. The push into the big toe and the balance you need as you lift your body up. And ending in your own time, bringing your hands to your heart. Anjali Mudra, this prayer pose. Have a moment on your mat, come back down, feeling the difference in peaceful energy from sun and moon salutation and earth sequence. Close the eyes, take a few deep breaths. Feel the difference in your body. The way the energy flows may feel slightly different. Slower. Perhaps a more even flow in parts of the body than centralized sensation. Just allow your back to soften. Enjoy the feeling. And notice whether you remained present throughout that whole practice without the mind wandering off. Okay, so draw knees in, have a moment to rock. So we're going to come into fish pose, which is a lovely back bend. We'll do this a couple of times today. So lying on the mat, bring the palms so they face down, slide them under your buttocks. And then just lift the chest a little so that you can tuck the upper arms underneath your body as well. Okay, so as long as the lower back is okay here, we can come into fish pose. If it isn't and you don't feel right, please don't do it. When you're ready, bending into your elbows, lifting up your upper body so that you get this nice curve into the chest. Looking at your toes, and if you've got strength in the neck, tilt the head back only if you feel comfortable here. This allows the chest to open a bit more. Wonderful for throat and heart. And getting into that lovely lower back. Feeling strong through the arms. Take a deep breath. Lift the head so you're looking back at your toes and then just gently lower down. Have a moment to release your hands. Just give your fingers a wiggle from sitting on them. And just take note of how it does feel in your lower back to have come into that nice counter pose. Taking the spine back. Okay, we're going to do that again. So palms down, under the buttocks. Lifting the chest by hiding the arms a little. Okay, when you're ready, inhale, bend into the elbows, looking at the toes, and then tilting the head back. Now, if you feel strong enough and you have got the strength in the back, you could also lift the legs as well if you wish, as an advanced pose. Otherwise, keeping them low on the mat and enjoying that chest opening. When you're ready, lift the head up, and as you exhale, gently come down out of fish pose. Just take the palms away, palms up into Shavasana for a moment, and just wriggle and allow your spine to align. Deep breaths. Feeling some tingliness in your palms, perhaps where we've been sitting on them. Draw the knees in, one at a time. Have a rock. Enjoy that spaciousness that you've just created in your back a little. And we'll come up to seated for a seated spinal twist. So extending legs outwards. And we'll bring the right foot over the left foot. Make sure that you feel your sit bones connect to the mat as well. Lovely tall spine, like you have a ruler down your back. Try and flex into your left foot, feeling that deep stretch into the back of the leg. Okay, so left arm hugs around the front and the right arm with the spine still tall comes around the back. Seated spinal twist. Looking over that shoulder. Taking some deep breaths. Using the breath. On the inhale we lift, and on the exhale is that opportunity to explore your twist. Where do you feel it? Nice stretch into the back ribs perhaps, that area where the muscles are. Or perhaps it's a really lovely deep stretch into the right buttock. Okay, when you're ready, just come back round the front. We're not going to come out of this pose too much. Just tilt to your left, and if you can and have the flexibility and the knee doesn't hurt, swing your left foot around to your right buttock. If you can't do this for whatever reason, just remain in the position that we were in and we'll do it again. So still, lovely tall spine, left arm comes round the front, right arm behind you. So a little bit more of a binding pose here. You might start to feel a deeper stretch around your left hip as well here. If anything hurts or is painful, come out of it immediately. But if it's a stretch that you can explore, that's fine. Okay, when you're ready, let's come round to the front. Release your legs and just have a moment to lean back. Let all the vertebrae and the cartilage sort of settle back into alignment. And then we'll sit up again and do the other side. So again, just readjust yourself so you feel your sit bones connect. Left foot comes over right knee. Lovely tall spine. Right arm to the front, left arm behind. And really enjoy this. This is like a wringing out of your body of any toxins, sugars, alcohol, anything that we really want to sort of squeeze out. It's a nice feeling. Lovely stretch into the muscles of the back. Great for digestive system and nervous system. And again, gallbladder. Okay, when you're ready, take a breath, come back round the front. Just tilt your body to the right-hand side now. Swing your foot under the opposite buttock. And we'll come back into this deep twist. So right arm again, still to the front, and left arm behind you. Try to keep both your buttocks onto the mat rather than to roll to one side. And perhaps now, again, as before, you can feel that deeper twist into the right hip and thigh area. Okay, gently, when you're ready, take a breath. Come back round to the front, leaning over to the right, just releasing your legs, and then come back onto your mat for a moment. Let everything realign. Notice where you felt that stretch, perhaps in the sides of the waist. Just wriggle your lower back a few moments if you need to. Really relax your legs, just let them take that little bit more of a movement and roll out to the sides. Relax your lower back. Taking some deep belly breaths. Okay. So today we're going to come into, if you wish, shoulder stand. If that does not suit you, for whatever reason, you just know you can't do it, or it's just too much, you've got a bit of a sensitive back at the moment, then what I'd like you to do is just to come into maybe a bridge, or if you have your moon cushions or anything to lift you, come into a supported bridge pose. So something just where you can lift your body and the heart just comes up a little bit. So that's the alternative if you don't want to come into shoulder stand. And it might just be that you just don't fancy it today, and that is entirely fine. If you do want to come into shoulder stand and you feel there's strength in the back here, come into this semi-supine, palms down, roll the knees into the chest. Support your back with your hands. And then when you're ready, you can extend the legs up. When you come into this pose, don't ever twist your head. Keep your gaze on your toes. We don't want to twist the neck in this position. And some nice deep breaths here. You don't have to come up here for too long. You can come up for a moment and then come down. Or enjoy staying here. If you have the flexibility and you like to, you can take your feet behind you into plough. If you've got that space and room. Lovely for throat chakra. You can twist your feet into almost like an eagle kind of pose. Twist around the legs. And then when you're ready, let's take one more breath. Slowly and supported, use your arms to roll your body down. And then just take a moment into Shavasana. For those of you that did come into shoulder stand, I know some of you like this, just notice the area around your throat, whether there feels like a lovely, very subtle increase of energy, perhaps warmth. Deep breaths, just have a few moments here, long sigh. And so for our last pose before we relax, I'd like you to choose one yourself. Yogi's choice, okay? So bring the knees in, have a little rock and have a think. What does your body need? What shape do you need to come into? Do you need to curl your back into perhaps a child's pose? Do you need to open up your chest, perhaps lie back over a cushion? Maybe you'd like to raise your legs again, but maybe in just a sort of a gentle legs up the wall pose or waterfall sort of pose. Perhaps it's another twist that you'd like to come into. So just have a few moments to choose a pose. Ideally a one-sided pose that you feel like your body just needs. And it could just be relaxing into some sort of shape that doesn't even have a name. Deep breaths. And just inquire within as to why you chose this pose. Is it the benefits it gives to your back, upper or lower, or neck? Perhaps a relief in the arms or hips. And just taking a few deep breaths. When you're ready, just lifting your head or coming out of your pose gently and lying down now for some relaxation. If you prefer to sit, you can do whatever feels right for you. So you have a few minutes of relaxation here. Just softening from head, face, neck, shoulders and arms. Relaxing the front of your body, the sides of your body and the back of your body. Relaxing buttocks, pelvis, both legs, all the way down to your 10 toes. And just feeling the softening into your mat. I'd like you to visualize that you are walking on a lovely sunny autumn day. And you're walking through the woods. You're wrapped up warm. nice and cozy, appropriate footwear. And I'd just like you to look around you, looking at all the trees, all the different colours of the leaves, the oranges, the brown, the golden yellow and the lighter yellow, the red colours, perhaps a few green ones still. Noticing some trees are becoming a little bit more bare, and all of their leaves have fallen to the ground in a beautiful carpet beneath them of a multitude of autumnal colours, browns, golds, reds. This nice warm day allows for the leaves to be dry, and as you walk on them there's that crunchiness. Perhaps you tread on the rare twig, the little twigs that fall as well beneath your feet, that crunch and snap. Listen to the birds. Listen to the rustling of nature around you in the hedges and low grasses. You might notice little squirrels racing up and along the branches of certain trees. And as you walk through this little wood, the beautiful bright sunlight just streams through. Walking through bright bits and shady patches. Take a big deep breath and smell that autumn air. How does it make you feel? Perhaps as you walk through the woods, you come to a little bit more of a clearing where you can feel the sunlight burning into your face, that lovely warmth. Take a moment, and maybe up ahead you've just found a nice fallen log that welcomes you to sit. Turn and face the sun. Close your eyes, turn your face up and feel that warmth. Seeing the redness on the backs of your eyelids and the colour of pink and red and deep red changes. You can feel this warmth in your face. It warms your whole body, and you can't help but have an internal smile. When you're ready, you may want to open your eyes, and if this log is big enough, you could lie back and just gaze up at the clouds. Having a few quiet moments just to enjoy your own thoughts and feelings. very gently, just still with that image in your mind of the woods. You can come back to these places whenever you want to. And when you are out in the woods in your life, you can absorb these images into your mind so that they become more clear with visualizations. So just gently start to become aware of your breath. Aware of your body, and just maybe starting to move fingers and toes slowly. Looking forward to your day, being open to what it may bring. Something new, something different, something someone says that inspires you or you read. It's lovely to reflect back at the end of your day what new thing you learnt or lifted your spirits in some way. Starting now just to stretch, move the body, hug the knees in. Maybe even thinking about one thing that you could do that would share some inspiration with someone else. If you have the opportunity to compliment somebody or just a small act of kindness. When you're ready, just rolling up to seated. Take a moment to settle and root down again. And we'll chant our 3 Oms together as we close practice. So just resting hands to Chin Mudra. Take a lovely deep breath in. Listen to your Oms. Notice how they sound, each one. And then rubbing our palms, feeling that lovely heat. And then palm your eyes. Blink, let that lovely warmth come into the eyeballs just for a moment. Really feel that. And then let the light through as you bring hands to your heart. Om Shanti. Namaste.